What's up? I'm an Empathetic Chicken. I'm gonna try to like resist the mosquitoes long enough to do this video. But yeah, I'm gonna do another collective reading to see what's going on. Oh. So yeah, what theme we got? We'll just cut to it, like freaking get this over with, cause I want to do the reading, but the mosquitoes are swarming, and I don't like bug spray. It stinks. Clean slate. We got some new starts coming, man. Looks like it. Alright, what's the obstacle? Othering. Might be freaking being a little judgmental at this time. Goal is sharing. You see that? I can't ever tell if it focuses. Maybe you saw it. And then what's our advice? Perspective again. I'm gonna break this down too. I'm about to put that back in the deck with transition at the bottom. Dang, I wonder, can y'all see like the gnat swarms? Like, oh my god. Okay. So clarifying the clean slate. We get, ooh, I'll take that one. Kindred spirits. I feel like this came out in the last reading too. Might be having some new starts with some friends. Alright, obstacle, othering, clarifying othering. We have wonder. And then for our goal with sharing, we have past. And for the advice with perspective, we got peace. Okay. Okay. Alright, so where I'm gonna go. Yeah, clean slate and kindred spirits. So maybe we having like some new beginnings with some like fellow souls that we like vibe with, you know? Maybe we done met some of our little soul people, little families. It's like new, fresh energy, you know? Things are good, feeling that connection, vibing. I'm just noticing how like they both are kind of like offering each other something. So like maybe we having some little new starts with some folks that actually like can benefit us, and like where they can benefit from us too. Like we got some like a mutual like exchange going on. We're like offering each other something, you know, valuable. We done met up with our little people, you know, like the people we've been looking for. We found them. Yeah. Obstacle and wonder. This one kind of like stomping me a little bit. Yeah, so I'll just start with othering because I know what that one's about. Like, so with the othering, like maybe for our obstacle, like maybe we ain't too sure about these people, like, because we're just so used to like being on our own, like, you know, maybe we're just kind of like on guard, feeling like maybe these ain't my people. Like, I don't know, I feel like we always like look for things to like separate us versus like bring us together. So maybe we really focused on like our differences at the time, and it's hard for us to like wonder about the little points of connection. I don't know. I'm like, maybe we're like stuck in like judgment mode, like maybe these people are our people, but we're like too busy focusing on like the things that bother us about them, like things that we feel like maybe should be different, instead of like recognizing that we're all kind of like, we got our little flaws, you know, nobody's perfect. We all have our lessons and like our little behaviors and aren't like ideals sometimes, but like ideals aren't real, they're just ideals. So like nobody's perfect. You know what I just said? We're all talking in circles. So yeah, maybe we're just too focused on like our little expectations of other people right now to like see that it's a little kindred spirit. Yeah, I need a minute. I'm gonna just read this little wonder card because I'm just not. I mean, it look. I mean, he's like looking out into like the vastness of the space, you know, like the stars. He's like kind of curious. He's looking, he's taking it all in, you know, like he's curious about like everything. So like instead of like singling out, like, well, that they ain't what I think they should be. Like he's kind of just like looking at the whole picture, you know, like all of it. Oh. Now we got bees. Okay, bee. What you need, man? I'm getting ate up by mosquitoes. I'm fine. Ugh. Yeah. Alright, so, I mean, sorry, I just have to refresh my little memory because I ain't had these cards long. But I just, the meaning talking about, like, basically what I was saying, like, being curious, like, taking it all in, like, being open to, like, discovering new things, not, like, staying in this little, like, kind of cutthroat mentality, like, well, they should be like this, like, this ain't how it's supposed to be, like, just dropping the judgments and being open to, like, what you find. So maybe we're having problems with that, like, it's just hard to, like, let go of how we think things should be, to actually see, like, and accept how things are, you know, like, there's opportunity in that when you, like, let your little judgments go, because, I mean, of course, things ain't gonna feel right if you already, like, have this, like, set way that they have to be or else, like, it's probably not, like, if you're, like, narrowing in that much on a specific outcome, then you're probably gonna be disappointed, because, like, what are the odds, like, when you're dealing with different people that, like, it's all gonna, like, come together, like, in your exact way, like, when they're not you, and you're not them. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my god, I'm not gonna have arm flesh left. I'm fine. It's being a little dramatic. Sorry. Alright, so what we're trying to accomplish with sharing and the past, I feel like we kind of going away from the past, but we're still remembering, like, they still looking back, you know, they're on their way out, but they're like, I remember where I came from, because, I mean, there's value in knowing, like, where you come from. Oh, Jesus. But you gotta keep going, you know, you can't stay there, so, like, just, I think our goal is to, like, you know, acknowledge the past, yeah, but move on to, like, a more balanced place where, like, everybody has a place, we ain't competing, ain't nobody gotta, like, meet your standards, like, I don't know, I'm just thinking about how, like, there's a lot of, like, what am I trying to say? Like, specifically, if I'm giving, like, an example, I'm sorry about the waving, I'm just gonna be waving because they're all swarming. Specifically, like, if you think about, like, I guess, like, relationships and crap, and, like, what people expect from their partners and all, like, there's this, like, narrative about how, like, you don't put up with, like, specific behaviors or whatever, like, you deserve more, and, like, I agree with that to an extent, but, like, at the same time, like, I think, what am I even talking about? I feel like loving people is, like, no, I haven't always felt this way, like, obviously, but, like, loving people is, like, loving them all the time, like, no matter what they do, like, no matter if they, like, appease you or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's actual love. Like, you can't just, like, pick and choose when you want to love somebody, like, just when they're treating you, like, how you want them to, like, just when they're being, you know, being what you want. Like, it just don't work like that. I mean, you can hold that standard, but like, you might be, in my opinion, you might be alone, because like nobody's perfect, so you're never gonna find like an ideal, like if that's your thing. Oh, Dove! Hello, Dubby Dove! But anyway, so yeah, I just feel like our goal is to get past like that whole like outdated little version of like, I just feel like, I don't know why I keep feeling like I need to talk about love, but like that's freaking big lessons I've been having in love lately. It's just like, I feel like the outdated version of love is like expecting somebody to like fill the void in you, like be your other half, and like, you know, make you feel worthy and complete you. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but you get the idea. Like, we just think love is supposed to be like this like little cure-all thing. It kind of is, but like not in the way that we believe it should be. Like, I think the love, like, what am I talking about? Oh my god. I think like the love comes from like accepting things unconditionally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're always working with what we got. Like, so it's not fair to like withhold love, like even from yourself. Like, if you just take the relationship thing out of it, like if you only want to like love yourself whenever like you're feeling good, that ain't love. Like, cause you need love all the time. Like, we ain't never gonna be like all on one side of the spectrum. Like, it's a balance, like a back and forth, you know, like in between, it's all of it. So like, you can't just like decide when you feel like loving, because that's not real love. Like, love is like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Do I know what I'm saying? I don't know. Sometimes. So back to what I was even like saying, like the past. Maybe in the past, like our idea of love was like based on somebody else making us feel better about ourselves, when like really we just need to love ourselves first. And know that like, have I even started recording? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna try to pay attention, because the last time I got cut off. So yeah, because I know for me, like, I'll just get personal, whatever. Like, in my freaking last relationship, like, that's really the only relationship I've been in. I ain't gonna get like too in depth, like, in my personal business. But like, I was in that relationship for like years, since I was like 18. I'm like 30 now, so that gives you some like context. And I just got out of it in like December. So like, it's been about like, what, 4 or 5 months. But like the whole foundation of that relationship was like me believing that like I wasn't good enough, and that like I needed this person to like prove to me that I was like the one that they chose, like, because it was it's got a backstory, but I don't want to like, I'm tired of the past. Like, it's fine, I acknowledge it, but I don't have to go there anymore. Like, so it was this whole convoluted thing, this story that I like made in my head about how I wasn't like the chosen one. I was like the second best option or whatever. Like, so like, I just wanted so bad to like not be second best. But like, for one, like, that was just kind of like a lie that I told myself anyway. Like, just believing that I wasn't good enough or worthy of love to begin with. And two, like, I don't even know what two is, because I just lost my train of thought. But whatever, like, the point is, it was like a false story that I told myself, like, that I just wasn't good enough to be best, like, or to be number one. I don't know why, like, it seems like stupid, like, the way I'm talking about it, but like, I don't know. I have comparison issues, obviously, like, so it's cool. A lot of people do. But yeah, like, that whole thing is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people don't feel like good enough, like, in themselves. So they just think that like another person has that power to like make them feel good enough, when really, like, I ain't need that dude to choose me, like, in the first place. I don't know why I said place. Place. Hey there, ma'am. How are you, my ma'am? You wanna be in the video? Alright, see you later. Thanks for stopping in. Eat some of these dang bugs, please. So yeah, we don't need people to like validate us or freaking make us feel like we're worth something, like, because like no matter what they do, like, their actions don't define your worth. Like, just remember that, because like, I didn't want to freaking accept that for a long time, for like 11 years. And I mean, I guess I could say like it wasn't a waste, because like I'm here today, like feeling better, you know. Like it was worth something. But like all that freaking time spent like in misery, like just hating myself, like I didn't have to do that, but I thought I did. So yeah, the goal is not to be like in the whole comparison or like lack. Like these little chickens, like they just chilling. They all have a little place. Like anybody worried about, oh, they're like taking my spot, you know, like there's enough for everybody. Like there's enough love to go around. Like don't just don't do it to yourself. Like trust me. Like I mean, I know it's hard to like love yourself sometimes, like when you haven't been taught like how, but I feel like that's the source. Like you are the source of like the love that you seek, you know what I mean? Like, and I ain't trying to do that whole like you can't love another until you love yourself, but I just feel like there's just like so much like contentment available, like if you are able to learn how to like love yourself regardless of what anybody else is doing. Because I mean, you gotta live with you, like, you know, so I might as well make it a little more pleasant. Yeah. Yeah, with this like sharing card too, like, I feel like we've all like been taught that we have to like, we just like need things to like, for contentment, like you just gotta like buy this or freaking have this, reach this stage of like your career, or like have this kind of car or house or whatever, like fancy crap, in order to feel like you're worth something. When like that's just a lie. Like it's just like all in the little freaking money scheme of like how society works. Like, I mean, it's just capitalism. Like it's not really like our worth isn't really based on that. Like even though everybody tries to act like it is, it's because like it's good for sales. So yeah. Who pooped? Oh my god, that stinks. I'm sorry. Ugh. It's like freaking hot and humid, and like the smell is like terrible. So yeah, I don't know, like even like I think love is based on that too, like just that need for like something outside of you to like fill some void. So we gotta move away from that. I think like we are like the source. Like it can only come from you. Like you're waiting on yourself to accept you. Cause I mean, ain't nobody else gonna until you do. Like, I just feel like fully, or at least in my experience, I can't speak for nobody else, but like in my experience, like when I started like accepting myself, like unconditionally, that's when I started feeling better. Like I mean, like I really thought like after 11 years that I would be like sad. I mean, I was sad, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was a painful process to like release somebody you've been with for that long. But like it just I just can't like I couldn't imagine like that I would feel so much like better alone. Like you know what I mean? So it's just like so freeing to like not like not be in that position to like expect anything from anybody, like, and not in a bad way, but just like, you know, just cutting loose, like just not needing anybody else. Like I'm good, you know? Like, I have all I need right here. I always have. I just like didn't see it. So yeah. That's the goal here. Like get to a point of like feeling like you have enough, like you are enough. You got this. Like the past does not define you, you know? You might have told yourself some lies in the past, but like that's the past. You can go forward now, like where you like sharing your coolness. Like I feel like you're cool, you know? You just ain't seeing it. But you will. And like that will be, you can share that with others. Like it's gonna, a time is coming where like you're gonna be appreciated. Get out of my face. Because I think like if once you start like appreciating yourself, it's gonna be like reflected back to you. Like it's just like this weird like mirror thing that happens with people, like, because you're like I don't know. I'm just learning that like you are the powerful, like the one who shapes your reality. So like how you feeling about yourself is gonna be reflected back to you in like your life. I don't know how it works, but I'm just saying it works. So yeah, agree. So yeah, for the advice, like we got perspective and peace. So I just think like this little shift in perspective is needed, like towards ourselves, like how we view ourselves, like can be more at peace with like who we are. I mean, because like all this thing extra junk about like needing this and that and having to have a status and freaking, oh, you're not good enough if you don't have this or do that or whatever. You ain't in a relationship or blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I'm not subscribing. No. Like, I'm good as is. Like, I'm straight up here, but that's enough. You know, the fact that you exist, that means something. Like, you're awesome. I just need you to know that. Like, just like repeat that to yourself, like in the mirror a little bit. Like, it's cheesy, I know, but like sometimes you need a little bit of like pat on the back. Cause I mean, you gotta have your own back. I'm not even being like trying to have a cutthroat view of the world, but like for real, if nobody else gonna have your back, you gotta have your back. It's not always guaranteed somebody is gonna have your back, except you. Like you can do that for you, so do it. You know. Yeah, I think like having that perspective, like it does, like that kind of like new view of yourself, like of not feeling like you're supposed to be anything other than you already are, like that will bring like a sense of like newfound peace, because you're just not like striving to like be something other than what you are. Like, does that make sense? And that's not saying you should just like stop, like, you know, if you like do certain things. Like if you have certain habits, like, I don't know, let me throw myself under the bus. Like I just kind of like assume the worst and like expect things to not work out. That's just from my past. But like if you have like certain habits like that you know you want to change, it's not like about just being like, oh, well, I guess I'm just doomed to fail. Like it's not like accepting it and just like not even, you know, like trying to work on stuff that you want to work on. It's more like just not like judging yourself for those things, and then like, you know, like accepting it is what it is for now, but like and accepting it, like there's power to like change it, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe sort of like just like acknowledging what is so that something else can like emerge, and it's different than just like kind of forcing change, like, or just expecting yourself to be different than what you are. Because I mean, I think in like understanding your little patterns, that does help you to like change and like be more forgiving if you like look into why like you do certain things. Like it's not like you just decide to like try to get me again. It turned off, but I caught it that time. Like I was saying, like it's not like you just like want to self-sabotage, like, because I never did. I just like, that's just what I knew. So like I didn't know how to love myself, like, and it took a while to learn that. I'm still like not 100%, you know, I'm gonna have my days, because like, you know, we are just like a bunch of patterns, like, so I'm aware of the pattern now and I can shift it. But I'm just saying, like, the little perspective is like a freaking, it's a powerful tool, so like utilize it for your good and not like your demise, because like that's actually something I wrote on one of my little sticky notes I put on my wall like a while back, because like it could go either way, like, and why would you want to tear yourself down when you could just like build yourself up instead? You know, it's hard, like it sounds all like simple when I be talking about it, but like I know it's not, but it's possible, because like I'm doing it myself, like. And not that it's gonna look the same for you while you're doing your little healing and stuff, because everybody's different, like, and it don't have to look a certain way. Just know that like you'll know what you need to do, I feel like. And if you don't, like, I think the universe will like provide you with like little hints to like help lead the way, you know. So yeah, so the guidance, just like work on your, oh god, I somehow murdered a mosquito. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it, but you were like on me and ugh, sorry. Yeah. I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah, another like I'm gonna just go on with another thought. So like in the guidebook I talk about how like this card is like it could go either way. Like you could be like the person drawn or the creature, whatever it is. I don't really know. They're like little monster looking things. Anyway, like you could be the little thing creating, or you could be like the little eyeball right there. And like the way I drew it, it just makes me feel like the chicken eye is getting like poked with the pen, which is like not cool. Like ow, that seems painful, right? So like, would you want to be that eyeball getting like manipulated or like controlled, or would you want to be like the creator? So like in this instance, like choose to be the creator. Like you have that power to like set the tone and like make your life better. Like make it less painful. Like you don't need no more pain. Like there's gonna be pain, but like at least, like I was saying, have your own back and like bring in more like peace if you can. Let me just see if I want to read this. Yeah, let me just read this just cause like I don't hardly ever read mine. But yeah, this is for perspective. And I'll probably get like another just to close it out from another deck I had somewhere. But yeah, okay, perspective. It says, it can be tempting to accept the idea that we are powerless to what we experience in this life. A simple empowering shift occurs when we realize our perspective is a valuable tool we always have at our disposal. We can choose to be the victim or the creator in any situation. Which do you choose? Maybe you oscillate between the two, or maybe both. Maybe the answer is neither. There could be an entirely new perspective available if we are willing to consider it. Don't be limited by interpretations that have come before you. It's possible you have a new way of piecing together the puzzle we call life. What we highlight will play a major role in how we define our experience. Choose your preference, but always consider the consequences. We already do this anyway, even if we choose to ignore it. Take this as a sign to acknowledge how you might be perceiving a situation and consider if it's for your highest good and for those around you. My bad. So yeah, use that crap for your advantage. Because I mean, you really are like, it happens either way. Like if you're conscious of it or not. So I mean, be more like intentional with it, and I think that'll help. Yeah. So let me find that other deck. It's just right in front of my face, and pull us a little like closing out message. 14. Flight of the Wanderer. You see that? Alright. With hope is like a hummingbird on the bottom. Let's get the book. Freaking chicken gonna put dirt all over it. What did I say? Number 14. Okay. There may come a sleepless night when you must walk with your troubles until they feel larger than you can continue to carry. There will come a night when the journey has taken you so far that you feel the burdens of your needs must be laid down and you must free yourself from them. This card comes to you to say that you must know now that some of the troubles you carry are not yours. They do not belong to you, and yet you carry them. There will be a wise one who tells you to share some of these troubles for a time. They will help you know which to keep, learn from, and remember, and which can be put aside, acknowledged as not yours to carry, and buried softly in the good earth to heal, change, and become part of the great all that is. Yeah, so I'm picking that up as like what I was saying, like these little past, little expectations, and like the ways we define like how things should be and what we need to acquire and all that. Like, so I think we're being called to like let go of a lot of that stuff that's not like, it's not the truth. It's just like what we've been like conditioned to believe by like society and everybody around who like exists in the same society. Like we all get the little messages, you know, so it makes sense why we all like think that things are the way they are, like, or why they should, like, they have to be a certain way. When really, like, it's more flexible than that. Like, if it don't work for you, like, don't freaking try to force it. Like, it's fine. There's room for difference. Like, we just don't always like accept that. We don't want to. I feel like it's easier to just do that othering thing and be like, oh, they're not like me. When like we should be more accepting of difference and like be okay with changing, because like just because something's been a certain way for so long doesn't mean like that's the way or like, you know, the only way. It's just like what's worked for like a majority of people, but like, you know what, the minority exists, so like that doesn't mean that you can't have a valid like experience that's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's room for like some little variance, because we're not, I mean, look at all these dang stars in this card. Like, none of them stars are exactly the same. I mean, from like a general view, like, yeah, they stars. But like, if you was to look at them, there's like different sizes, like different brightnesses, like different areas of the sky. Like, so why we trying to like lump them all into like this one way of like being? Like, nah. There's room for like difference, you know? So it's cool. Accept you for you. Accept other people for them. And just like kind of let loose on the little expectations, because I just feel like we're all doing the best we know how. And we all could just use a little bit of, you know, love and understanding. Because like the world is not always that. So like at least you could be that one person, like for somebody that like offers them like a little unconditional love. So like, yeah. Or even just yourself, like, if you ain't got nobody in your life to give you that, like, give it to yourself. Because, I mean, we all can use it, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Ain't that right, ma'am? Ain't that right, ma'am? She thinks so. Hey! That's it. Alright, I'm going to let her go because I know she's probably mad. Thanks for popping in. But yeah, it's about to rain, and I think that pretty much sums up the message. So, I hope that was helpful. If you want to get this deck, like this is my little deck, you can find it on my website. I'll put the little link in the description, and I'll like list these down there if you want to, like, these aren't mine, but like they're cool, so like if you want to get them too, I'll put the little links down there for that. And then like I'm also offering little readings on my website too, so if you want to check that out, like I'll put that down there. But yeah, hopefully this was like helpful. Hope you're doing alright, and yeah, I'll be back. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.